Cici crew, this is your girl Cali Girl, and I'm just back with a little quick tutorial on how to heat press on a mesh hat. Now here I have my mesh hats. I was doing a birthday party, 80th birthday party, and had about 40 hats to make. I found that the type of hat that I used that was purchased, it was pre-purchased. These are more difficult to press onto. So I used a piece of cardboard and I kind of cut out the bottom part to match the brim of the hat. I used a pillowcase, as you can see, any type of fabric to actually fill out the panels, because this was like a 6-panel hat, which is more difficult to press than a 5-panel hat because you have that seam running down the middle that makes it a little bit more tricky. So once I got the desired height, I decided to make sure that the top of the press would clear the hat. I did find that pressing on mesh is very temperamental, so I used 270 degrees for 10-second intervals. Right now in this video, what you see is me pre-pressing the hat almost to sort of prime the hat, so that when I lay the vinyl down on top of the hat, it will actually have sucked out all the moisture in the mesh, as well as allow for easier application onto the mesh. Now I got it nice and hot, 270 degrees for about 10-second intervals is what I found was best, because the vinyl was falling down into the mesh. I also found it easier to cut into slices in between the lettering so that it can lay down on the hat, because this was a hack that I used, and you can use on a surface that's not necessarily flat like a hat. And here is the piece de la resistance, the bobby pin. Oh my gosh, you guys, I was racking my brain because when you swing the top of the heat press over the hat, it sometimes knocks the vinyl out of place, and then and there's no way of knowing until after you've pressed the hat. Trust me, I messed up enough hats to know. And the good thing with the vinyl is that they have holes. The mesh is that there was holes all over the all over the hat, so I could easily slide bobby pins into the hat. And yeah, as you can see here, I actually considered using a wand curler, because a lot of people use flat irons on hats and stuff like that, but you guys, it was so difficult, so that didn't work for me. It's a no. If you have a better way, then let me know, but yeah, that was making it much worse. Yeah, so it's a no. I was just showing you what I used when I did try with the vinyl. Sorry, I got my co-host Luke in the video. And y'all, don't judge me. I was about to go out of town. So everything was thrown all over the place. This is right before we went to Detroit. I had a big order to place, and I was just really busy, of course, trying to pack and manage everything. So I went in with my first press just to see, and I didn't want to go for too long because, like I said, the vinyl is temperamental, and I highly suggest, this is just a tidbit, use Siser Easy-weed vinyl whenever I will always use that vinyl, because that vinyl will stick to the surface. Whenever I find myself going to other types of vinyl, I find myself being frustrated, because the fact that the plastic parts stick to the surface works wonders. Here you see I just did the first little pre-press, and then once I got the vinyl to stick to where I wanted it, I removed those bobby pins because I didn't need that anymore, and I needed the heat to be flush over the hat. So there I am pressing again over the hat without the bobby pins, and I did use a parchment paper. Now I went in and tested to see if the lettering was going to allow, was it ready or not, if it was looking good, if it was looking flat. Trust me, I messed up enough hats so that I know that just to take your time with this, because it is very temperamental and they did not like to play together well. Here I am testing again to see, and yes, it is. Some pieces were pulling off. Now, I don't recommend pulling off just because you see one piece of the vinyl was sticking. I like to make sure that the vinyl was heated on all surfaces. Now, once I made sure that there was even distribution of the heat, I was able to peel off a little bit more. I'm testing right now here to see if it was ready, and it looks like it's ready to be peeled off. I think it was a combination of the font type as well, because as you can see, that font is it's like an athletic type font, but it's lined with very thin vinyl. I'm using my tools here because some of the vinyl was starting to come up, and I was really at this point just making sure that it didn't separate, that it didn't look bad, that it came all down flush. And a lot of times when the vinyl came up, the beauty is with those tweezers, I was able to easily push the vinyl back down into place, as you can see what I'm doing with the T, because like the ends of the T's and the H, I was having a hard time. So then I'm laying it down in place just to make sure that everything is laid in place. Now that it's perfect, I just want to show you how that's lifting up here at the end. You see what I mean? It's just the type of lettering that I used and not wanting to play well. So what I did at the end of that was I just went ahead and pressed one more time, ensuring that everything was laid exactly where I needed it to lay, because once you press that over, it's not going to, you're basically, you've messed up if you don't. Okay, so one last time just to make sure that everything was pressed the way it is. And like I said, don't judge me. My room was a mess because I was packing. And here you go. Finally, you'll be able to see the finished product. I hope you guys enjoyed this. I will come back with more. If you did like, comment and subscribe, let me know. And as you can see, I was waiting till the last minute because that was the person who was coming to pick up the order. That was the very last hat. So thanks so much for tuning in. I'm just checking right here to make sure it's laying down perfectly. That's the finished product, you guys. Like, comment, and subscribe. Tell me, leave tips if you're a person that does crafting and you use your Cricut machine and the heat press. Leave me some tips, because I promise you guys, I tried everything. And with that being said, I will holla at y'all next Wednesday for a Wednesday weigh-in. Tune in for tutorials, and peace.